I still can't believe it's happened. It feels like, you've found the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It seems like, it almost feels like you've discovered the Loch Ness Monster. You've seen a unicorn. You've spotted a phoenix. It feels like a legendary event. What am I talking about here, you're probably wondering? Well, if you know the title of the video, if you noticed that, you probably guess where this is going. I've got to be talking about Nico Hulkenberg. What a job that guy is doing in the Sauber. He is absolutely unbelievable. He is carrying that team on his back. No disrespect to Gabriel Bortoleto. He had a great drive last time out at Austria. But the experience, the know-how, the nous, Hulkenberg's just got it in buckets. He has been in Formula 1 for 15 years. He's been here since 2010. He's had the odd season here or there when he's not competed full time, but of course he did make a habit of super subbing in every now and again for Racing Point and also for Aston Martin as well. He's been waiting for this for his whole life. He has been mocked relentlessly online, people saying that he's never going to get a podium, he's not good enough, he's a bottle job. And it's always been so hard. I wouldn't say I'm an out-and-out Nico Hulkenberg fan, right? But I respect him. I like him. I met him very briefly a few years ago. He's a nice guy. Honestly, he's a sound guy. And I'm so glad that he's worked his way back into Formula 1. I really, really am, because when he was a reserve driver for Racing Point and Aston Martin, same team effectively, just got rebranded. But when he was a reserve driver for those guys, it looked as though maybe his time had kind of come. He was in his mid-30s. He had his time in Formula 1. He never had his podium. He doesn't come with a lot of financial backing. It always seemed like it was an uphill struggle for him to get back into F1. But he's back. He's back and he's doing incredibly well. I am so glad for Haas taking a gamble on him. Not even a gamble, he's a very safe pair of hands, really. But, taking the plunge to get Hulk in the car. And then Sauber taking him on this year after, Haas have changed the lineup. And it's a very positive future for Hulkenberg. He's getting towards his late 30s now. He's getting on a bit in terms of his age. But let's not forget, that Sauber team is going to be an Audi Works team next year. They could win the championship next year. I think it's pretty unlikely. But why not? Why not? They're a works team. It's a complete reset. They have every chance of doing that, without a doubt. And Hulk clearly has shown he's finally got the monkey off his back. It's almost been 300 races. I think it was 289 Grand Prix he's competed in before today and never won. Still never won, unfortunately. Never got a podium. This will feel like a win to him. I'm saying that because it feels like a win. If you are the next best car after the two McLarens, which he was today, that's basically a win right now. Them McLarens are untouchable in terms of the race pace. Things were not kind of going his way, though. At the start of this week, he was 19th on the grid. Let me remind you, he was on the back row of the grid in what is objectively probably the slowest car in the grid. But the experience, again, it showed. So at the start of the race, if you saw my review, you'd know this in depth anyway, but at the start of the race, it was intermediate conditions, but it was, of course, drying up. It was sunny. It was drying out really quickly. And we see this at Silverstone a lot, where the drying line does really, really dry out quickly at somewhere like Silverstone when the cars get running. Hulkenberg, though, was not one of the guys to go in and change the tyres straight away. Some guys tried to go on the slick tyres at the start, and it was not the right move in hindsight. They should have waited later. They should have either waited until the rain came, like Hulkenberg did, or do it later, like Lance Stroll did. Lance Stroll actually, he pitted for dry tyres, and it actually worked out for him pretty well. He came out ahead of the likes of Antonelli and Russell, who were the kind of de facto leaders of that second race that was going on, the dry race, as it were, compared to the intermediate race. But Hulk, man, honestly, Hulk, to do what he did, had to overtake so many people in what are probably faster cars. He overtook Hamilton in the Ferrari. He overtook Pierre Gasly in the Alpine. He took advantage of Max Verstappen spinning out. He just made the right calls at the right time. And when it came, I was so nervous for him. I was genuinely so nervous for him in the closing stages because he's come so close on so many occasions. Baku, 2017, crazy race. Absolutely insane race, that one. He could have got a podium there. Crashed out. Germany. 2019, I think it was, maybe 2018, when he was racing for Renault. He could have got a podium there. crashed out, went onto the drag strip at the Hockenheimring. It was absolute agony. He's been on pole position before. He got pole position in a Williams in 2010. Just didn't have the pace in the race, finished like 8th or something like that. He's come so close on so many occasions, and yeah, he's bottled it. He's bottled it on a number. Let's not get away from that. He has bottled it on a number of occasions. That's why you're always thinking, is it going to be today? Is today going to be the day? And now, he's arguably driving the worst car he has ever driven. That Sauber, I think, is the worst car on the grid. They are not the worst run team. That is Alpine. They are dog doo. They're terrible. But in terms of the overall pace of the car itself, Sauber, I think, is the slowest car on the grid. I really do believe that. He's got third. I said after the Spanish Grand Prix that him getting fifth in that car is nothing short of a miracle. It is a bit of a green and black tractor. And I am sure those updates they have done have helped. They must have done. But my word, to do what he did, to keep his nose clean, out of trouble, make the pit stops at the right time, he stayed out when everybody around him, Verstappen, Hamilton, Gasly, all those dudes, they all pitted for the dry tyres. He waited a lap extra, and it was the right call. He gained like 5 seconds on them. Hamilton was hounding him before that. They was absolutely harassing him on that racetrack. But he kept his cool. He kept his cool. Against the guy that has won 9 times around Silverstone, that is desperate to get on the podium for his home race again. And he kept his cool. He never put a wheel wrong or race. It is as faultless of a drive you will ever see in Formula 1. If I had a hat, like I always say, if I had a hat, I'd take it off to you, sir. Wunderbar. Absolutely fantastic. Unbelievable. I'm so happy for you, man. Honestly, I'm so happy for Hulk. And I know there's a lot of F1 fans, a lot of long-time F1 fans that, like me, that will have seen this guy struggle so much, and he's done it. How did he do it? People are wondering, how did he do it? Like I said, kept his nose clean. Correct decisions on the correct tyres at the correct time. He absolutely smashed it out of the park today. Him and his Sauber team. The strategy was perfect. It's such a shame for Gabby. It really is. You know, he could have got a good points finish today if it wasn't for what happened to him. But, you know, honestly, Hulk just made it perfect. I am so happy for him. I really am. He's finally done it. But guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. This has got to be one of the most popular podiums in Formula 1 for a long, long time. I'm happy that Lando won his home race, of course, but this is the real story. This is the real story. Come on, let's be real here. This is the real story. But yeah, guys, like, share, comment, subscribe as always. We want to see more of this. Have a fantastic day. You're over in the world today, and we'll see you very soon.